instructions are on that piece of paper.
Hello, everyone. We'll give folks just a few more minutes. All right, everybody's coming in. Okay, good afternoon, and welcome to today's Business Solutions Series Q&A session, brought to you by Nationwide and the United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. My name is Brianna Dimas. I'm the Vice President for Programs and Communications at the USHCC, and I'm so excited to welcome you to today's webinar. Thank you to all of you who are joining us from around the country to learn more about effective business planning from entrepreneur coach Karla Sandoval. We're excited to be offering this virtual business program that provides digital learning opportunities to USHCC members to help grow their business. Please be sure to share Karla's video and what you learned today on social media using the hashtag NWBizBuilder. Before we get started, I would like to turn it over to our partners at Nationwide who have made today's live Q&A possible. I would now like to introduce Ms. Lori Burgos, Senior Consultant, Enterprise Diverse Marketing for Nationwide.
Thank you, Diana. Nationwide is super excited to partner with the United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, who offer the Business Solutions Series to its members. And this program really reinforces our commitment to helping Hispanic business owners grow and protect their business. We hope that you all have had the opportunity to watch both the episodes that we have released so far. The first one was with Carlos Gil, Social Media for Business. And of course, the one that we will be speaking about today is Business Planning with Karla Sandoval. Most importantly, it is our hope that what you have learned through this series will give you and your business an edge to position you to win in today's market. So today we are super honored to host this Q&A session with Karla Sandoval. Karla is a master trainer for entrepreneurs throughout the US and abroad, teaching sales tools, soft skills, and success strategies. She is also the director for the Multicultural Entrepreneur Executive Leadership Program, empowering entrepreneurs into their next phase of growth plans. And so it is my pleasure to introduce you to Karla Sandoval.
Hello, there we go. Hello, everyone. And first and foremost, thank you so much, Nationwide, for this amazing opportunity. I am really excited to be here. As Lori just mentioned, I am the director of a multicultural entrepreneur program partnered at USC, the University of Southern California, actually where I graduated. I'm my alma mater. And as I'm getting ready because we're actually launching our curriculum. Our course is starting next month in a couple of weeks. And as I was getting ready for that, it just brought me back to all the struggles and all the challenges and all the adventures that an entrepreneur encounters. So as an entrepreneur myself, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 23 years old. I have gone through everything you could possibly imagine, from the highs to the lows, to having success, to losing it all. So I'm really excited to be here because to me, an entrepreneur is that brave soul, as I said in my video, it's that brave soul that one day says, this is it, I'm gonna do it. And they put everything that they've got into everything that they do. And along with that comes a lot of challenges and a lot of adventures and for sure, a lot of rewards. So I'm really excited to be here. I wanna jump straight into it. I really hope that you were able to watch the video and that you were able to complete the workbook, so you can definitely get the most out of this today's Q&A. And if for whatever reason you didn't, make sure you go back and watch it and do the workbook after this Q&A. So with that said, I will turn over the call to Brianna. Take it away, Brianna.
So now we'd like to open it up to you to ask questions, everything you've ever wanted to know about entrepreneurship, about your business plan. Please use the Q&A function in Zoom to submit your questions. We did receive some questions before the webinar, so we'll start with one of those. Karla, I feel like I'm a hustler, a CEO, and an entrepreneur. Can you share some of the behaviors typical for each stage?
So, yes, we are definitely all wanting to be going to the CEO stage, right? However, sorry, I don't know what that noise is. However, one of the things I will say is that as you're going into your business, you want to make sure that you're keeping track of where you're at in your business. So let's go through them really briefly, as I did in the. Can you hear me? I don't know what happened. Can you hear me? I don't know what happened. Are you there? This is definitely live. Brianna, are you there?
I hear you.
I have no
I
idea.
can hear you.
This is live, right?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, so the phases are as follows. So when you're first in the hustler stage, here you are, which this is where most of us, actually all of us start. And this is where you're thinking like, okay, what do I need to do? And the entrepreneur in this stage is really, really, really focused on getting things done. They're really focused on, really, to be honest with you, just surviving, making sure that they're hustling, getting there early. You'll see the entrepreneur living in a lot of fear, okay? And I'll tell you from my personal experience, when I first started my business, and I've done several businesses, when I'm in the hustler stage, I'm the one that's opening, I'm the one that's closing, I'm the one that's doing the receivables, I'm pretty much the one that's doing everything. I call myself a lonely wolf. And this is when you're a hustler, you're in that stage, right? Then the next stage is the entrepreneur. And normally we will go into that stage. I will say, if you're a new entrepreneur, you normally don't get there until about year 2 or year 3, unless you have somebody coaching you. You might get there a little bit sooner. Some people really never move into that stage, to be honest with you. And this stage, the tendencies are where this person finally realizes, like, I can't do this alone. I need a team. And they start to realize that they need to invest some money into hiring maybe an assistant, into hiring people. And they start to think about, how can I start working on my business versus in my business? In this entrepreneur stage, you really start to think about, what processes can I put together? What systems can I put together so that I am not having to, I'm just going to say it, be sucked into my business, okay? Because as a hustler, that's really what you're doing. You're like you own the business, but you're really an employee of the business. When you're moving into the entrepreneur stage, you have a tendency to start moving away from that and start moving more towards creating systems, and you start creating a team. Then you go into the next phase, which is the CEO stage. Now, this is where all of us want to live. It takes time. It takes experience to get there. And this is when you're a CEO, you are looking into your business to see what's missing. And everything that you're doing, you're not in the survival stage anymore. You're not just doing something just to get it done, like, I don't know, cleaning the bathrooms or whatever we do as entrepreneurs, but you're really looking at everything you do. You ask yourself, does this make sense? Is this strategic? And is this going to get me closer to my ultimate goal? I want to say you're more selective with your decisions. You're more strategic with what you do and what you spend your time on. Because the CEO, its main focus is this going to affect the bottom line? Like, a CEO is really, really keying in into the bottom line and making profits. Where the hustler, they're just trying to survive. The entrepreneur is like just focusing on making money, but it doesn't mean that you're keeping the money. The CEO is like, yes, let's bring the money in, but let's also figure out the bottom line. And those are the 3 phases that most entrepreneurs will move through.
We have some more questions coming through. How do you find a good work-life balance when you're running a team of 1?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So you got to know something about me. I'm very transparent. And I will tell you, I'll share with you what I have literally like tried to do. So I'm a mom. I do have a team, okay, but I'm going to go back to when it was just me. And I will say, if you have something to write with, the first thing, first of all, I got to say, I think it's, I don't want to say impossible, but something that's really not like, especially depends on your phase of your business, right? If you're just starting, I'm gonna be honest with you, like most entrepreneurs, they don't have that balance because you literally are, if this is all you're doing, your livelihood, putting food on your table depends on your business. So it's not that there is no balance, it's just that you're having to be very selective with your time. So I'm just gonna share with you what has worked with me, okay? And I'm not gonna, this is a work in progress. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never met an entrepreneur that says, oh yeah, I got this thing down, my life is in balance. I've never met someone like that. What I will say is after all my years of experience, when I first started my business, I had no balance. All I did was work. My friends, my family would be like, I'm like, I can't. With time and age, okay, that I started to become aware I had to change. So what I ended up doing, and here's what I will say. Number one, write this down. You must have an agenda. And I know maybe some of you who are really good with organizing your time, you're like, well, yeah, but I'm telling you one thing. There's so many entrepreneurs that I know that they don't know how to manage their time. And I'm gonna be honest, I slip into that. If I am not aware, I will slip into that. Why? Because I'm my own boss. I don't have to clock in. I don't have to tell anybody what to do, what I am not doing. So it's very easy to get sidetracked and to not have good structure with time. So number one is being good with your time. And what I mean by that is every single month, I'm gonna tell you what I do. I grab my schedule and I write in all the things that are non-negotiables. That's my first step. All the things that I cannot move, okay? And all the things that matter to me in my business, okay? Because I live from here. If I don't bring things in, I don't eat, I don't pay my mortgage, okay? So that's the first thing that I do. Now, from there, I then pencil in, listen to what I'm saying, pencil in all my social activities. As an example, I'll give you a quick example. My team wanted to go to some event here in LA, some truck monster thing, and we were all gonna go. And I had it penciled in. We hadn't bought the tickets yet. And even if we had them, it wouldn't have not made a difference because a really great business opportunity came about for me to go and do a speaking opportunity in Fresno, which was going to enhance my business. So I needed to look at my calendar and make that decision. Now, for me, I have to decide if this is really important, like something that really, really matters to me for my family and my personal life, then I might say no to this, or I might say no, or I will figure it out how I can get there and come back in time. But if I find that this personal thing is not that crucial, then I make the calls. I said, I'm sorry, I changed the plans, something came up, I'm not gonna be able to make it. So I feel that as long as I do that, I will have a better grip on my time. And I will say I left this for last because I feel that this is a very important thing for all entrepreneurs, and that is that you must schedule time for yourself. Now this, I'm going to share with you a personal philosophy. I personally believe that an entrepreneur must be healthy physically, mentally, and spiritually because the business is inside of you. So if you're not good, you might not perform or execute as good as you would when you're good. So for me, I'll tell you, every single morning, non-negotiable, I will do something in the morning for myself. For me, it's working out, okay? But it could be meditation, it could be whatever it is, which means I have a son now. I have to wake up extra early to get that done so that then my whole day could be then my son, then my business, then my son, then a little bit of my business at night, and then my son. So I put things in, but I left this at last because I really wanted to stay in your mind. When you're making that list, make sure you are on it. So back to you, Brianna.
Good answers. Thank you. Our next question is, what are the steps to finding investors for my business?
So that is actually, I don't know if they've already done it, Brianna. That's going to be one of the calls that you guys are going to have, right? Right? Okay, so I will say that this is, this is not a specialty for me, and I'm never going to give you some advice or guidance of something I don't feel 100% confident. So stay tuned, because your next series of Q&As, he is an expert when it comes to that.
Perfect. Our other questions are, let's see, when do you know your business is ready to hire?
Okay, so it really depends. I think that, so I'm going to say something to answer. Before I answer that question, I will say this. When making decisions, especially when you're when you're like, it's just you, I am going to recommend find a team of people that can support you. There's so many resources out there that don't either A, don't cost anything, or B, might not cost you that much. For me, it's my accountant. He is someone that I go to because he looks at my numbers. And I'll be honest with you, there were times that I wanted to make decisions that I felt, by looking at my business and the momentum that was going, I felt that I was ready to make that decision. And lucky for me, I'm a good student. So I called him and he's like, absolutely not, you're not ready. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yes, because I was in the entrepreneur stage. He was like, yes, your sales went up, but so did your expenses. So for me, I will say, and all the entrepreneurs that I coach, I will say, number one, make sure your decisions, and this is something really challenging sometimes for us entrepreneurs, are decisions based on numbers and not based on impulse, not based on, well, I think this is what I need, but stop and think, and let me tell you something besides the numbers, is if you feel like you're over your head, okay, here, I'll give you my personal example. I was over my head and I was like, I need help. I need to hire someone. And that's when I called him and he said, well, yes, you can afford it, but we need to look at your numbers. You're spending too much money here. You're spending too much money there. Where can we allocate change so that you're not like over your head, you're not drowning in your expenses? And so that was the first thing I did. I knew it was time, because my business was growing so fast and I felt like I was losing business because I wasn't investing in my business. So sometimes some entrepreneurs, they want to do it all and they don't want to hire help because they don't want to have all that extra expense. But what you don't realize is, as some people say, you're taking care of the pennies and losing the dollars. So number one, when you feel that like, okay, I'm losing business because I don't have help, maybe that would be one of the ways for you to start knowing. However, make sure your decision is not based on your gut. I really encourage you to stop, look at your finances, look at your numbers, and make sure that if you don't know how to read them, you have somebody who can help you, and then you can see if that makes sense. I will say this, when I decided to hire someone, my accountant said, yes, of course you can afford it. However, okay, that also means that we're gonna have to cut here, or make some adjustments. And then he said this to me, okay? And this is a personal decision, a personal philosophy, and I think this is one of the reasons why I had a great year, the year that I hired her. And that was because I was crystal clear why I was hiring her, what her roles were, how she was going, he or she, well, it's a her, how she was going to help me increase my business, what she was going to take off my hands to do so that I could do and focus my energy on something that was going to bring me more business, not for me to go get my hair done and do my nails because I now have an employee, but to actually allocate my time in a way where it was going to bring more business so that I could pay her. And then he gave me a personal challenge. He said, whatever it is that you're paying her, let's just say it for easy math. Let's say I'm paying her $1,000 a month, okay? He said, whatever it is that you're paying her, I'm going to challenge you that year, this year, 2019, he said this to me, that your income increases by the amount that you paid her. And I was like, because I like a good challenge, I was like, okay, it's on. And guess what? I made sure that, when she came on board, we went ahead and had systems in place. Everything was in place so that my paying her was worth the opportunity cost of me doing something else was greater by having her take on those tasks. So you'll know when you're feeling a little overwhelmed, but don't make that decision just because you feel like you need it. Sit down, look at your numbers, and make sure it makes sense.
Okay. Our next question, What do you do when something unexpected happens and changes your action plan? How do I get back on track?
That's always going to happen. So I will say, as an entrepreneur, things never go, actually as a human being, okay? I do believe things never go as planned, at least not for me. Maybe for you it has. But I will share with you, this happened to me this last year. And that is that whenever I have a plan, right? Like, here's my annual goal, here's my plan, here's my quarterly plan. I'll share with you, last year, October, November, December, I put systems in place so that my business would have better control of its numbers, better control of income, better control of expenses, better control of everything. So it wasn't me having to do it or my assistant. We put systems in place and invested some money into some things to help us do that. Well, guess what? Things did not go as planned. And so we got very distracted. I'm not gonna lie, I got very discouraged. I got very sidetracked. And so one of the things I will say is that whenever that has happened and whenever it happens to you, if you have time, again, from the first question about work-life balance and you put some time in yourself, I do feel that you must, and if you're writing this down, if you're writing something down, underline the word must. You must invest time into planning out your day, your week. For me, it's on Sundays. Sundays, when things are calm at night, I look at my schedule and I look at what I need to do. On my agenda are my goals for the quarter, are my goals for the month. And I will revisit them and I'm like, oh yeah, hold on. I know we got a little sidetracked for what was happening. Let me bring it back. So I know for a fact that for me and almost every entrepreneur I know, things never go as planned. But if you don't have your goals and your plan in front of you, you will start to deviate and you'll keep going this way. So you can take a detour, manage whatever you need to manage, resolve whatever needs to get resolved, and then come right back to keep you on track. The other thing that I do is I have people around me that will remind me. So whoever that is for you, it doesn't have to be, actually, it shouldn't probably be an employee. It should be someone else. And I'll share with them. Like, for example, I shared with my accountant is somebody that I lean on a lot. He's also a really good friend of mine and somebody who challenges me, as you can tell. So I did mention to him last year, I said, this is my goal for this quarter. So as I was chit-chatting or emails or anything, he would be like, hey, by the way, how's that system coming along? And I'm like, oh yeah, hold on, let me get back on track with it. So have people around you to hold you accountable, but also keep your plan, keep your annual plan, your quarterly plan, your monthly plans in front of you so that when you get sidetracked, you can glance back at it and go, oh yeah, get back on track. This is what I'm focused on. This is what I'm going for. So that doesn't mean you're not going to have bumps on the road, but if you have something to bring you back, it's a lot easier than if you're out of mind, out of sight, out of mind. So keep it in front of you as much as you possibly can and have someone hold you accountable.
We have time for maybe 2 more questions. So if you have not put your question in the Q&A, now is the time. Karla, what are common patterns you see that stop entrepreneurs from completing their action plans?
Oh boy. Can you say that again? Can you ask that one more time?
What type of common patterns do you see that stop entrepreneurs from completing their action plans?
Okay. So the first thing that came to my mind, because there's a lot, okay? So it just depends on your personality for sure. But I would say that if there's one thing that I see over and over and over and over and over again, and again, I'm being really vulnerable and transparent here, and it's happened to me more than once, and that is the mind game. The game up here of self-doubt, of defeat, it just really that mindset of, is this worth it? So you're on your plan. Again, if you haven't watched the videos, go back. And if you have, you remember the 4th lesson, when we're talking about your 90-day plan. And what happens is this is a pattern of most entrepreneurs. And that is that they get an idea, right? Because you're entrepreneurs. So you're like visionary, you like to start things. So you get an idea and they're like, okay, this is it. We're going for it. And you have all these ideas and all these plans and you hit the road running and you're going and you're excited. And maybe this excitement lasts a day, a week, or a month. And normally, because especially, I'm just going to say this, because right now we live in a microwave society where things are accessible to us in an instant, we sometimes, if not always, would love to see instant results, okay? And so when we don't see those results coming in as fast as we think we should, the entrepreneur gets discouraged and gets defeated. And so what ends up happening is, it's not that the game is not, it's not that their mindset, it's not that their plan, their game plan is not good. It's not that their business is not working. It's just that they lack patience in seeing it work, like it's seeing it come through. So what many times I see and I witness is, especially if the entrepreneur didn't invest. Now, if you have a lot of money in it, if you have a lot of money into your business, that doesn't mean you still see your plan all the way through. That just means you become you get into survival mode. But you have to open your doors because you already have a lease. You're already running your business because you already have to be there, right? But that drive and that fire is not there because your mindset is not on point. So one of the biggest things that I see people not seeing their plan all the way through is that they quit up here first. So I don't want to leave you with that. I want to give you some action steps on how you can turn that around. Okay, or at least how I turned it around, or how I've witnessed other people turn it around. Okay. Number one, and this is for me, and this is my personal philosophy, is be very mindful who you surround yourself with. This is why these seminars, these conference calls, these webinars, these series that Nationwide are doing are so valuable. Because maybe I'm not hanging out with you, but you have access to the video that all of us have done for you, where you can watch it on your YouTube, you can watch it on your phone, on your computer, and you can surround yourself with people, webinars, video conference calls. I mean, there's so much now that you can surround yourself with to get your mindset back on track, to get your belief back strong. Okay, because to say that I always feel great and that I always feel like I'm winning would be a big fat lie. Okay, and when I feel like, okay, I'm off track and I'm starting to feel defeated, I'm starting to find myself quitting on myself and on my plan, I'm not gonna lie to you, I have listened to my own video several times and I'm like, that's some good stuff. I gotta take my own advice and put it into practice. Why? Because I too forget. Right? So whenever you see yourself getting off track, stop and think, who can I surround myself with? What can I listen to? What can I read? What can I see? Where can I go? Right? Because there's seminars, live seminars that can help me get me back in the game. And as you do that, it will remind you of how good you are, how powerful you are, how strong you are, how capable you are. Because if you started the business in the first place, it means you believed that you could do it. So you just got to get that belief back and that mindset game to be strong again. So I will say that is probably, if not, there's so many factors, right? But that is the one thing that I could see that 99.9% of the people that I have met that have not seen their plan all the way through, that have not gone for it most of the time, if not all the time, it's because their mindset game got distracted. They started feeling defeated. They started quitting. And then what happens is, many times when you're in that moment, in that state of mind, rather than seeking for help, they withdraw and they feel defeated. So I'm just going to say this. When you least want to do it, it's when you must do it. When you least want to listen to that seminar, when you don't want to go to that live conference, when you don't feel like, doing whatever, please remember this. When you don't feel like doing it, it's when you must do it, because it probably means it's when you need it the most. So back to you, Brianna.
Thank you, Carla. With that, we are out of time, but we really want to thank you for being with us today and thank everyone who was able to join us. It's our hope that you find this session valuable and that you will use these learnings from Karla and from the videos and the workbook to grow your business. If you have not downloaded the workbook, check the link in the chat. It has a lot of great information that you can apply after this training. As part of this program, you will also receive a digital certificate of completion. We encourage you to continue the conversation on social media using the hashtag NWBizBuilder, sharing what you learned and any other questions you may have. Please join us for the next live Q&A on Tuesday, March 17th at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, featuring growth enthusiast and president of Black Pen Whiteboard, Nick Delgado. Nick will share insights on how to build the value of your business, and his video will launch on March 10th. Please be sure to watch it. Thank you again, Karla.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And my desire, my wish is that you have an amazing year for yourself and your business.
Thank you.